Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Y'all, today we are going to kick up bag making so many notches. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by. And welcome to all of my new subscribers. I am so glad and so appreciative that you have chosen my channel to be one of the channels in which you subscribe. And a big thank you to everyone who has bought me a cup of coffee, or you are supporting my channel in a positive way by watching my videos and by leaving positive comments of encouragement or ideas. Thank you guys so very much. Now, those of you who have been with me for a while, y'all know how much I love to make bags. You also know how much I love the mixing of patterns. So today we're going to do both. So in my opening, I said we were going to kick bag making up so many notches. So that's what we're doing with this awesome gift bag. I tried to design this one so it would have that quirky MacKenzie Childs look. And I think I did a pretty good job. And for those of you who don't know who MacKenzie Childs is, just look up the website, MacKenzie Childs, and you'll become more familiar with the quirky mixing of patterns to create something absolutely beautiful. And that is what this bag is, because ordinarily you wouldn't think that this print would go with this print. But look at this bag. Oh yes, it does. So y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, guys, so here is my take on a MacKenzie Childs gift bag. MacKenzie Childs is known for mixing the elegant with the quirky, and that's exactly what we're doing here. And this is also giving you guys an idea of how it is okay to mix this pattern with this pattern, because look at how well this actually works together. This bag, when finished, is 6 across, 9 1/4 inch tall, and 4 inches deep. So we have a very nice size bag for any season, any reason, any gender. Now I did this one in a Christmas theme, but you can take this style and transfer it to whatever you need for it to be. I've been a longtime fan of the MacKenzie Childs look, and I have really wanted to work it into the channel, just ran out of time to do it. And this year I decided I'm going to do it. So here is my bag. I'm going to show you exactly what we need to get this look. So the bag that I'm going to make today is going to be 1/2 inch smaller than the one that I showed you in the beginning. And the reason for that is I want us to be able to take one piece of 12 by 12 to get both sides of the bag. And when I made this bag, I went with 6.5 inches. And that would mean that you would have to cut 2 pieces of 12 by 12 to get your front and your back. But if we reduce it to 6 inches, we're able to use 1 sheet of 12 by 12 to get the top panel, and then 1 sheet of 12 by 12 to make the base of our bag. And then for my handles, I am going to be using this wired garland that I found at the Dollar Tree. It's like a holly berry garland, and I thought it added an extra layer of whimsy. So here's how we're going to get started on making this bag. So on the 12-inch side, we're going to score at 4, rotate it to the opposite 12, and score at 4. And now we're going to take our 2 6 by 12-inch pieces and we're going to add some tape. Now what I'll be doing is laying down on each piece 2 strips of 1/2 inch tape. And that's because I don't have my 1 inch tape handy. So we're going to go with what I did have on my desk. So I put a piece of 1/2 inch all the way across. Then I'm going to take another piece. When I place it down, I'm going to try to butt it up against that first piece so that I'll have a true 1 inch going across, or as close to 1 inch as possible. So there's one. We're going to do the other one. All right, so now that we have our tape, so we're going to go ahead and peel away that backer All right, so I have brought my camera in a little closer because once we have our tape down, I have found that the easiest way for me is to take it with the tape on this side. If you're a left-handed person, you might have it turned this way. But for me, the easiest way to get this placed down is to take my paper and I am going to try to match this end first, and then I can turn it to try to get that straight. And when I flip it over, this is what I have. And I am just going to smooth that out with my big old spatula. And then we'll do the same thing with this piece. We're going to remove that tape. I'm going to take this piece and place it down right there on the end, and then I can maneuver and manipulate going across. And now I'll flip it over and we'll get that nice and stuck. So what you're going to end up with is approximately 3 inches of your pattern showing here at the bottom and 6 inches at the top. So now we're going to bring our scoreboard back in, and y'all, we have created a very long piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it in and we're going to score at 3 as far as we can go. Now here's a little tip. If you're using a lighter weight paper here, when you transition from here to this paper, make sure you're scoring very lightly or you could punch through your paper. And trust me, I've done that. I flipped it over. I'm going to score at 3 from this end, then I'll transition to my lighter paper and I'm just going to give it a very light score at 3 until I meet that original 3. Then I'll rotate it to this side. I'm going to score at 3, make that transition and ease up on my pressure. Flip it, score at 3, and now we have our bag scored. I am not going to fold and burnish at this point. I am going to go ahead and notch out these 2 panels here in the center. So I want to go ahead and free those. Just makes it easier to work with. So I am just going to go ahead and cut. And now I'll fold in sections. I'm not going to burnish this. I'm just going to fold it. And the reason why I'm not burnishing is because we have a thicker paper that I joined to the lighter paper, and that could cause some cracking. So I am trying to eliminate that by just doing this fold over. We're still going to have a nice bag. So once we have it like this, we can start putting our bag together, and it's going to be so simple. I am going to take my glue and I am going to place glue on this tab. And then when I bring up this side, I'm just going to match it here at the bottom. Then I'm going to use my big old spatula to go on the inside and stick that down. Then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So I am going to take my glue, place my glue on half of this tab. Now I can take this piece and match it at the bottom, just like we did the other side. Now I'm going to lay it down, go in with my big old spatula, get everything nice and stuck. Now we're going to take this piece, and when we match it, we're going to be matching it from the top to the bottom. Place my glue on this piece, and then I want to place glue on a part of this piece. So now when I place my glue down, I'm going to take the glue and go all along the bottom up to a certain point. And then I'm going to take that glue all the way up to the top. You can use tape if you want. Anytime I'm making a bag where I might have some weight in it, I prefer to use my glue. So now that I have that glue on there, I'm going to take my bag and I am going to join it here at the top and bring it down to the bottom. So make sure that your top is matching and then bring it to the bottom. If you have any overhang at the bottom, you can just trim that with your scissors. So now I'm going to use my big old spatula to go on the inside to get everything nice and stuck. So on the opposite side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold that back and out of the way. I'll take my glue. I'm going to place my glue on that tab. Then I'll place my glue on this tab at the bottom. Then I'm going to place it going up. And then I'll place some on this side. Just making sure that we have good glue coverage on both pieces. So now I can take this, bring it over, and we're going to match it at the top. And y'all see how easy that was for me to lay it down. What you just saw me do is exactly how easy it will be for you as well. So I am just going in with my big old spatula on the inside and making sure that I have everything nice and stuck. And now we have a very beautiful, beautiful bag. And to make sure that my bag has a sturdy bottom, I am going to take a piece of scrap that I have left over from the first bag and a piece of chipboard that measures 5 7/8 by 3 7/8. I am going to add some glue to this. And I am just going to place it down like that. And I'll trim this out. So then I'm just going to take it to make sure that it's going to fit inside my bag, and it does. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue to this piece, and we'll place it inside. So now we have a nice sturdy base on our bag. I am going to go ahead and pinch in my sides. And so with my sides pinched in, I am going to bring in some more of my scrap. The size does not matter for this because we're basically using this to place down the handles. So I have cut 2 pieces, and I simply need to make sure that they are short enough to fit on the inside, and they are. So now I'm going to take some of this wired garland, and how much you use for your handle is completely up to you. So I'm going to trim that, take my second piece, and stretch it out. So I'll have 2 pieces that I'm starting with that are the same. And these pieces that I have here are about 12 inches long if you want to know the size that I'm using for this project. I am going to take my glue and place my glue. Then I'm going to take my garland and just place it in the glue. This glue is very hot. I actually bought some of those little finger protectors for hot glue, and I left them in my car, but my glue gun is a very high heat glue gun. So there's one. Now we'll go ahead and put the second one down. So I am just going to add my glue. How far you do yours is completely up to you guys. It doesn't have to mirror what I'm doing here. And your bag doesn't have to look like this one either. You can use whatever papers you want. So I'm going to place that in the glue. Get that nice and stuck. Now I'll bring in my bag. And before I put it in, I want to make sure one more time that this is going to slide in with ease. And I think what I'm going to do, just to make it easier on me, is trim away a little bit. And now I'll take my glue, and I am just going to place my glue all over this piece. And so now I'll take my bag, and I'm just going to slide it in. And then I'll just start sticking it down. And then we'll be able to go back and shape those handles in just a few. But I'm going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to add our hot glue. And now I'll take it, and I'm just going to put it on the inside. I'm not going to stick it down just yet because I want to make sure that my handles are the same height, and they are. So now that I know my handles will carry well, I'll go ahead and stick them down. And so to finish it off, I'll be mounting this 2x2 sticker to this 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 inch square. So I am just going to peel away my backer. We're going to place that down like that. And then I'm going to take this piece and we're going to put it right there at the bottom. And I am going to just stick it down using some hot glue. You can use your wet glue. You can even use pop dots if you want to get some elevation. But I am going to take this. We're going to put it down. Let me take my hand, go on the inside. Get that nice and stuck. And my, oh my, y'all, do we have another fabulous MacKenzie Childs like gift bag. I think that anyone you give this to will be so pleased to get it. Or if you choose to sell a bag like this, or if you're doing a craft fair, you can make this type bag your signature bag for the craft fair. This is absolutely gorgeous and so easy to make. I am going to bring that first one back in so that you can see just how gorgeous both of these are. And this bag is 1/2 inch shorter than this one. So following the measurements that I gave you in this video, you're going to end up with a bag that is approximately 9 inches tall by 6 inches wide and 4 inches deep. This is fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. If I was hosting Christmas at my house this year, this is the type of bag that all of my guests would be going home with. So I hope that this has inspired you to mix those patterns. If it has, y'all please hit that like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.